Hello, my name is Louis Gaylord. I've been fortunate enough to work in the wood industry all my life. For more than 40 years, I have cut and scaled logs, sawn these logs into lumber, graded and kiln-dried the lumber, making it into flooring, finished the flooring and installing these floors, making homes beautiful. Unfortunately, most people selling hardwood flooring don't understand the product they are selling and are unable to give proper advice. When we tell clients they can install a 10-inch solid wide plank floor, the reaction is disbelief because every other store has told them solid will warp, cup, and crack, and they must go with engineered. This is partially true if the boards are plain or flat sawn, which is where the growth rings run from side to side or at a 0 to 30 degree angle. As you can see by the picture, boards sawn this way naturally cup and most shrinkage is in the width of the board. This isn't the case with our live sawn method of sawing. These boards are cut through the center of the log, providing some plain sawn, but the majority of the grain is quarter sawn. Our live sawn is not a new way of sawing. It actually goes back hundreds of years when European craftsmen sawed lumber, producing the nicest grain patterns and creating the most stable wood. As you can see, the way the boards are sawn has a huge impact on the movement and behavior of the planks. Using the Lee Valley Wood Movement Reference Guide, we can demonstrate the movement of our wide plank compared to a narrower flat sawn in the same white oak. This is totally scientific, with no guessing involved. Using 8-inch, our most popular width of wide plank white oak as an example, we will get down to the numbers on the guide. The plain sawn change coefficient is 0.0037, and the quarter sawn coefficient is 0.0018. Considering the center of a live sawn board has 25% flat sawn grain, the coefficient for the total board would be 0.002275. We now have to consider how much seasonal movement is expected and normal for your climate. If the humidity is kept within our recommended 30 to 50% range, the moisture content of the wood at the normal temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit would be from 6.2 to 9.2%. which is a difference of 3. Take 3, the moisture content change, times 8, the width of the piece, times 0.00275, the change coefficient, equals 0.066 inches per piece. If the room is 16 feet across, 16 times 12 equals 192, divided by 8 inches, the width of the flooring, equals 24 pieces wide, times 0.066 inches, equals 1.548 inches of possible expansion. Now using 3 1/4 white oak plain sawn with the same conditions as the 8-inch live sawn. 3, the moisture content change, times 3.25, the width of the piece, times 0.0037, the change coefficient, equals 0.036 inches per piece. Same size room, 16 feet across, 16 by 12 inches, equals 192 divided by 3.25 equals 59 pieces times 0.036 equals 2.124 inches of possible expansion. You probably think I'm a magician and this is an illusion, but you will find this is to be factual and why we have successfully supplied and installed many of these beautiful floors. Visit our gallery and see the floors. Don't just look at the flooring. Take a look out the windows and see how many of these homes are waterfront. It all begins by choosing logs from the northern Appalachian area in central Pennsylvania. This area is noted for having the finest, straightest, sound-hearted, slow-growing trees that best fit our live sawn program. Wide plank flooring must be long and straight, making it easy to install. The secret is taking the time to place the kiln sticks at the ends and every 12 inches perfectly on top of each other, keeping the boards flat. Wood naturally dries from the ends, so waxing the board ends and covering them with burlap prevents the sun and wind from excessive drying that causes boards to warp, crack, and split. Being stacked on a level surface with bunks directly on top of one another is crucial for the wood to remain flat. The top bundle of wood is covered to protect from the sun and elements. The wood stays in the yard for a couple of months to start the natural moisture removal process. Once the wood reaches the fiber saturation point, or the point where most of the loose or free moisture is removed, it will be put in the kilns where the temperature and humidity are strictly controlled. Up until now, the wood dimensions have shown little change, and as the bound moisture in the cells is removed, the shrinkage will begin. Removing the moisture slowly is important because the outside edges or sapwood dry differently than the heartwood in the center, and the quarter sawn grain on the outside edges dry differently than the flat sign grain in the center. This slow moisture removal process takes 35 to 45 days, but when dry, the wood is mostly flat, straight, and stress-free. Even though we take great care in drying the lumber, there are some boards that don't make it through the process and are unusable. As much as I enjoy the whole process, from the logs to the final milling, my favorite is the finishing. This is where the wood comes alive and becomes amazingly beautiful. There is nothing ordinary about our wide plank live sawn floor, from its long lengths to the incredible grain patterns and character to its surprising stability. When a competitor tells you you can't go with wide plank, tell them you can at Gaylord's because they know wood.
Once the lumber has been properly kiln dried, the first step in the process is for the rough boards to go through the planer. The planer shaves the rough surface of the boards, making it smoother and more uniform, which is easier on the machines through the rest of the process. Then there's the rip saw. The raw lumber is all different widths and the edges are rough, so they need to be ripped to width. There's a blade cutting both sides of the boards, so if the board isn't perfectly straight, the rip saw will cut the crooked edges off. After the boards are ripped to size, they are sorted for width. In our live sawn flooring, we offer 7 board widths, from 4 inches to 11.5 inches. Once the boards are sorted, they are fed through the molder. The molder is the machine that mills the tongue and groove onto the edges of the boards. Once the boards are milled, each board is inspected for quality. An inspector uses a crayon to mark the unusable sections of the boards that need to be cut out. The chop saw automatically cuts out the unusable sections marked by the inspector. The scrap pieces are ground into wood chips and shipped to a local paper mill. The live sawn flooring is rustic, so the knots are filled with wood putty. The wood putty is stainable and meant to fill voids in the knots, but not take away from the overall rustic appearance. The end matchers are next, which is where the tongue and groove is milled onto the ends of the boards. The boards have the grooves milled on the left side and then move across to the right side for the tongue to be milled. You will notice our long boards don't fit, so we need to have someone pull the boards back and set them in place. For manufacturers making shorter length flooring, this process would be entirely automatic. Finally, the boards are stacked in bundles and ready to be finished. We typically keep the flooring in stock unfinished, and each floor is custom finished on a per order basis. If you have any questions regarding our live sawn, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.